Big day today. Simon decided I proved myself enough and can start working on the bench. Just some final tests for everyone's entertainment to do.
Done it! Alright, it's not. Today is another episode from the workshop. Main Customs, Simon.
Oh god. Right, here we go. Bike, ramp, ramp, bike. Bike, ramp, ramp, bike.
That's your favorite. This is the bike, this is the ramp. You need to get
Bike,
this on this.
Ramp.
Do I have to do it by myself?
Yes.
Can you just rev it on?
Go on, away we go. Bike, ramp, ramp, bike.
But I have a bad back.
I don't. I'm not a doctor. I haven't had the training doctors have had. I can't help you with that. A bit of oil down here. Who's in charge of clearing up?
Okay.
This isn't going very well, this apprenticeship, is it? Right. Hang on a minute, and I make the tea. I make the tea as well.
And you clean. I think that apprenticeship works just perfectly.
That procedure, bike, ramp, ramp, bike, obviously had to happen on a day when I had a bad back.
Fucking Hondas. Out of fucking centre stand.
Yeah. Will we use the fucking center stand or
No.
not? Okay.
I'll tell you for why we're not going to use the centre stand.
Wait.
It's because we need the bike at the height
Okay.
that we want it to be. If we put it on the centre stand, then the back's
Yeah,
higher.
yeah.
So
Okay.
with everything from now on, the bike needs to be on the floor.
Straight.
Yeah.
And
Flat.
we're starting working on the frame.
We are going to start working on the frame. We're going to have a look at where we want to move our shocks. So we need to do some measurements.
How to cut. What to cut.
Yeah, where to cut. Then we need to make some slugs.
What is slugs?
Slugs.
Sounds like snails and slugs.
Yeah, well, it looks like imagine a really, really dead slug.
Yeah. The one you just driven through.
Like that, yeah. No, a slug is that's a slug here.
Oh, okay.
See a slightly smaller tube.
Oh, okay. So it's double tubes.
Yeah. So what happens is that when we go to join our two tubes together, we'll cut.
Oh, you put the tube inside to...
Put the slug in.
Yeah, okay.
We chamfer the tube away slightly where we're going to weld. So when we butt the two tubes together, there'll be a gap. We'll be able to see the slug through the gap.
Okay.
So when you weld the two tubes, then you burn into the slug first, and then melt the two tubes together
Okay.
using the slug.
Building the frame, because it's like a core of a bike, I believe there is some rules of how you have to. You can't just build whatever you want.
No, you can't.
Make the tail hanging somewhere in the air, like cut here and put the tube here.
Nah. Well, the two main things are you need to get a triangulation point going.
Like
So you need to have a triangle in there somewhere, which is the strongest way to build a subframe. Plus, we're not monoshocking, so we've got to be strong for the twin shocks at the back.
And how
That's-
do you make it straight? How do you measure? Because I got some like advices how to measure, how to have like a string.
Easiest thing,
Straight.
well, we use on the jig for our full frames, we use a laser.
Oh, okay.
But on this, we're going to go old school because not everybody has
A laser.
lasers. Not everybody has their own jig. Well, we've got a lovely little jig, but not everyone's got it. So if we do this, so how you could do this at home, that you want to build your own subframe
Okay.
or move everything, then we're just going to use string.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing to do is string. And we'll take a point around the top of the headstock because that's our datum. It's called our datum. And this spine here, we know is central. So we can run straight down the middle of that, straight out the back here. It's more important, I think, if we were building a whole frame and we had a swing arm set up to get the telemetry right, to get everything in the middle. You don't want a bike crabbing.
Yeah.
A bike crabbing not only looks pretty bad, but it will turn
Yeah, exactly.
really easy one way and then really bad the other way. So we're going to flat this bike, we're going to put it on jacks but leave the wheels on the floor. We'll probably do a little bit of a measurement with weight. It's probably not that crucial on this, but it's something, it's called static sag, where the initial weight of the bike and the rider is taken up. That gives you the ride height. It's normally on a race bike or a sports bike, we'll do static sag setup. Okay. Let's have a cup of tea. And you put the ramp away. Okay. What do you want? Hello. Hello. Are you being a good boy, are ya?
Good Lord, man, shit, it ain't what it seems. Got nice clothes and late night shows, boogie down at the bar, fiddle tunes and homemade booze, but it always goes too far. Shooting pool, crack a jack, take off now and don't look back, but hey, don't you wanna play? Why you look so sad? Come on now, mama, ain't nothing here so bad. You got fast cars, movie stars, party on down the street with Mary Jane, good cocaine, plenty down there again. You can double down, throw some dice, you can take off now, don't think twice, but hey, don't you wanna play? Baby, come on. Tell me where you wanna go. But baby, I don't work down there anymore.
Okay, so where we cut the frame? After this?
Here.
Okay. That means that our shot
This is staying.
needs to be in the line with this
Yeah.
to make it look beautiful.
So it's going to be cut here. We can slug that. We can either come in a little bit or out a little bit. It's up to us. We're going to lose all of this. So we'll cut this off. We're going to cut straight through that and this. And then we will go, we can either fill that and then go we could put a curve in there.
Yeah.
Like that.
The same curve as the wheel.
Yeah, we could do.
Yeah.
Also, we need to think about where you want to run the auxiliary oil tank. Did you want to put that in here?
Yeah. It's going to be only small.
Under the cone filters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the only big thing that we have to hide from that is the battery.
That is in some kind of or under.
Yeah.
So if the seat will be different, then it can be just under.
Yeah, but we want to keep this. We want to keep this area here there as bare as possible, don't we?
Yeah.
The only thing that we're going to have running through here is cables for the battery, and whether you're going to have wires for your stop and tail light.
Building that hump or having a hump, I have to bear in mind that I have to build the battery.
A battery, yes. And whatever size battery you can run on this.
What is the smallest?
You can run a YTX7BS, which is what they run on the later Fireblades. And there's plenty of cranking amps in that little battery to turn this motor over. If it turns over a Fireblade, it's going to turn over one of these. All I need to do is just check whether the amperes from the generator will charge it properly.
Okay.
YTX7BS.
Frank.
I know what he wants. I'll go and get it. I'll go and get it.
Workshop, because there's young people in the workshop from now on working. That means that we're introducing the new ways of moving. It's like a new, how it's called? I forgot the word. It's because your leg is bad, so you don't have to walk that much. So you can go on the skateboard instead.
We've got wheels on the thinking chairs.
You can move in the thinking chair. I think when you upgrade your thinking chair, you know those chairs when you sit and they have wheels on the sides and you can
Wheelchairs?
Exactly. So you just need one of those.
That's why we have thinking chairs. You've got a bad back.
Yeah. So we can sit on the
You need a table.
thinking table.
Yeah. You can.
There's just some genius ideas here in the workshop.
They are. You can lie down on that.
I have to lay down.
Yeah.
It's a bit oily.
It's not oily. It's paint. It's dry.
My back's
That's it. Fucking his foot. And then. I can't. It doesn't. You can do any of the servicing on the bikes.
Yeah, exactly. People, bring your bikes.
I know. I've got a good idea. Stay there. Don't move. I've got a great idea. This is a good idea.
Safety goggles, please.
You can't have safety goggles. This is a good idea. See ya! Get on with stuff now. Don't let her back in. Go away! Can I have a cup of tea? I'm going for a cup of tea.
Well, we want to introduce you a new item for the bike. It's upside down forks that one of you found in Skip.
Upside down forks. Forks.
What is it then?
No, forks.
That's what I said, no?
You said shock absorbers earlier.
Earlier.
Shock
But I've
absorbers.
learned. I keep mixing the words. They're all like new to me. So I'm mixing the words, but I know what I'm talking about. That's the main thing.
We need to make sure that they're going to work in this.
Yeah.
So
We need to make sure if they are good enough
Yeah.
as well, because they have some marks on the inner tube, which is called
Slider or the
slider,
stanchion.
stanchion. On the stanchion, and it might be a stone chips that.
Oh, they're stone chips. So we're going to have a tea break. Shall I measure them then?
It's shorter.
What were the Honda ones?
Ones are shorter by a half inch.
By half inch?
Yep.
That's not a problem.
That's good.
Absolutely.
It's like a little different. So what we have to do now to take this apart to see if they are good to use.
Yeah, we'll have well, we're going to do a quick visual on this for a start. These are K5 2004, 2005 GSXR 750 Suzuki. It's got the steering damper mount on the bottom yoke.
It has a top yoke missing as well.
Yeah, there's no top yoke.
Either needs to be sourced.
Right.
Made.
Right. There is some pitting on these sliders. Let's get a little bit of...
Let me take it apart.
We want to take the whole leg apart? Yeah. No, we use a little bit of soft Scotch cloth. And we'll just see how bad some of this pitting is. It could just be surface stuff, but if it's some big chunks taken out of the chrome, then we can either have these legs re-chromed or throw them away.
Okay. When you re-chrome, can you change the colour?
That's called nitrading. You can have a coating put over the chrome called nitrate, and they do gold or black, but that's really expensive.
Is it?
Yeah. Good caliper though. They're little 4-pot Tokiko calipers. This one's going to need a rebuild, but they are a good stopper. They don't seem to be particularly bad.
Okay.
Normally, if you get rid of the little rust spots of where it's been sat, and if you can get rid of the little rust spots, normally, if you can feel it with your nail, you know it's going to leak. But these aren't too sad. Jonesy's got a jigsaw front end in it.
Yeah. It's not a fully Honda anymore.
No, it's a Honduki.
It's a Honzuki now.
Honzuki. Pivot. When something pivots.
Yeah, pivot.
So the pivot point is there.
Pivot and pivots is the same for me. New word. Pivots or pivot?
That is a pivot.
Yeah.
And it pivots.
Yeah. So that's a new word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
a joint.
Fulcrum.
It's like a joint.
Fulcrum is another good word. Yeah, that pivots.
Yeah. That's my pivot. That's my bike's pivot.
What about a fulcrum?
Fulcrum. What's a fulcrum? I hope that's an actual word you teach.
Yes, it's F-U-L.
Imagine at the show I'm gonna talk like just random words.
And the flip flack and the gangle pin goes on to the do jammer. Happy days. And we will be using tartan paint and left-handed screwdrivers.
Yep.
Not right-handed. And some air hammers. Right.
And the mouse too.